San Sebastian rap, from Jolie, Farrell, and Lawrence to trading, questions of waning U.S. movie dominance, and successful Gaza protests. San Sebastian, Spain. An intense, sometimes sunny San Sebastián Film Festival rounded its final bend on Friday with large Spanish world production announcements and a balance of stars: Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Lawrence, Colin Farrell, premieres and industry platforms, such as a creative investors conference co-organized by CAA Media Finance, which Fest director José Luis Rebordinos has made his hallmark. 8 takeaways and deals from a classic Rebordinos edition. Angelina Jolie talked about a performance in a way which she's never been heard before, speaking French in San Sebastián competition player Couture. She also said she loves but doesn't recognize her home country. The U.S. Farrell reflected on how past addiction affected his Ballad of a Small Player performance. "I'm glad I only damaged my body and brain, not my bank account." A serious and immensely polite Jennifer Lawrence, a San Sebastián Dinastia Award honoree, teased out bigger picture issues in Lynn Ramsey's Die My Love. "Recently, mothers have been seen as human and enduring a great deal of work daily," she said. "If it had more hotels and wanted, San Sebastián could hold a powerful formal market, stealing some of Toronto's firepower as it bows its own market in 2026. As it was, San Sebastián's informal market found fair momentum. There were a lot of foreigners, French execs all over, Italians, Germans," says Antonio Sora at sales agency Latido Films, which took a 3-member team to San Sebastián. "It might not be a formal market, but there is one. That said, it will take some time for many of the deals to be made public." How many of your films sold to the U.S. at Toronto? 193's Patrick Watchesberger asked CAA Media Finance's Reg Sutherland at the Creative Investors Conference. "They all will," Sutherland answered. Dolores Fonzi's Belén played very, very well with the crowd and has just been picked as Argentina's Oscar submission. Dark Czech comedy Ungrateful Beings got a lot of raucous laughter and applause at its premiere. Of Spanish films, Alaura Ruiz de Azua's Sundays, charting family frailty and teen vulnerability, scored highest of any film from anywhere on a El Diario Vasco local critics pool, followed by José Luis Guérin's Happy Valley Stories, which discovers global resonance in a supposedly humdrum Barcelona suburb. When San Sebastián's still highly successful Creative Investors Conference launched in 2023, there was an underlying assumption that Europe could learn from U.S. market expertise and benefit from its distribution muscle. Just 2 years and one Hollywood strike later, and the boot seems to be moving towards the other foot. This year's stellar session turned on European powerhouses, with top execs from Fremantle, Media One, Studio TF1, and Vuelta in attendance. "The world's being centered on American films is gone," said CAA Media Finance's Reg Sutherland, saying he was quoting Goodfellas Vincent Merivale and asking 193's Watchesberger where he was shooting his next film. Symptomatically, 193 has just started production on Laszlo Neam's French-language movie Moulin, starring Gilles Lelouch as the French resistance hero. Why is U.S. importance declining? "We have a little problem in the U.S. in that it's very difficult to get tax credit paid back," said Sutherland. "Louisiana's difficult, New York impossible. And that's coupled with the fact that making a movie there is that much more expensive." Another bugbear: bigger U.S. distributors now rarely pre-buy movies, taking them out of the film financing equation. That's also one good reason why, as a Studio TF1's Rodolphe Buet noted, that it's challenging to finance films from Europe at $20 million to $25 million to $50 million. A new U.S. cavalry may be riding into sight, however, for new U.S. distributors, Sutherland noted. One Roe K-Ent made one of the big deals at Toronto, buying the Cliffhanger reboot. Since Fest directors Diego Galán and Manuel Pérez Estremera from the 1980s, San Sebastián has emerged as the world's most prominent platform for Spanish-speaking cinema. This has rarely been felt with such force as in 2025. All 5 movies topping Spanish critics' poll in El Diario Vasco are Spanish language: Sundays, Happy Valley Stories, Maspalomas, The Currents, and Los Tigres. Many big world premieres: She Walks in Darkness, Carmel, Belén, 27 Nights, and Clean, come from Spain and Latin America. Why is another question. Principally, the most ambitious movies in industry terms in both territories are increasingly driven by SVOD operators, led this year by Movistar Plus behind Sundays and Los Tigres, and Netflix, which produced She Walks in Darkness, 27 Nights, and Clean. Belén is an Amazon MGM Studios production.